Okay, everyone, welcome back to the Kid Tarot. It has been one hell of a ride. Welcome to your current reality. Um, Congratulations to everybody that jumped timelines. That was fun. And that are receiving gifts and new assignments at this time. Um, so we have a download, a teaching from Tahuti and Isis tonight for the Lightworkers, Star Seeds, Light Warriors, Dragon Child, whatever, however you empath, however you identify, to the bridges, to and our friends and everyone in between. As Sophie says, and everyone is in between. Everybody that is working under the raw law of one. So, welcome, brothers and sisters. Here, thank you for joining me and being a part of my initiation. And I'm gonna try not to. Oh nope, not supposed to apologize, but I'm gonna try not to fumble too much up in this session together, in this training, in this class, in this the word is not coming to me yet. We're in the halls of learning, in this hall of learning, in the hall of a mentee. So thank you for allowing me to take a position as high and as esteemed, and for trusting and believing in me to lead this many teams. I'm already crying. But just thank you all for believing in me and electing me and trusting me to lead this many teams around the world. Of Lightworkers. So I just want to say, no, we are all one. Yes, no task is done by one. It's always done by the many. No man is self-made, nor an atom. We all come from the law of one. We're all in various positions of learning about where we are in our journeys right now and using the tools and crafts that we are manifesting for ourselves in this reality through our higher dimensional selves and in concert with our brothers and sisters. We thank them for leading the way. We thank them for reminding us that we are also way shores, that we are also leaders of the way, that we were there and we've always been and will always be. The goal now is to save as many souls as possible before the rapture. That is the goal. There will be many that will not make it. There will be many that will perish. There is no death, only transmutation. And that is what you are here for now. You will be placed across the life cycle of reincarnation. At many stages and many gates you will play at your position. She needs more salt. You will play at your positions. Each of you will be gatekeepers and perform transmutation of dark energy into light, banished entities still found lingering after the veil has been lifted and all agreements have been settled. Any trespassers found shall be excised immediately. You will receive further training on developing your spiritual gifts and a deeper understanding of your true and full mission. You are now in a period of intense learning. Not only are you doing a life review that you would typically complete upon exiting Earth School, simultaneously as you graduate, you are also being reassigned. Things are being pulled away from you that you've attached to that no longer serve you, that no longer serve the highest good of all those concerned with you that are no longer for the betterment of the collective. Your mission is to create, to allow you to play, So I can't hear that part. I'm not being shown that part. Okay, so that was Thoth, the Atlantean. Thank you for opening ceremony. Okay, so we have all been in a period of deep rest. We have been tired. We have not been hanging out in our traditional modes, doing the things that we normally would do. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with you. It's okay. You're not missing obligations. You have literally been pulled away by your spirit team to rest and rejuvenate yourselves. Things that you can do at this time to raise your vibration is one, just simply research ways to raise your vibration and look and take what resonates with you, what feels good to you. You're also doing a lot of inner child work. It feels heavy, but please continue to move forward through it expeditiously. It needs to be I'm not being shown that part. Definitely a lot of inner child work. Play in Play-Doh, paint, sing songs, dance around, travel, go places, things you feel called to do. Basically, like let your intuition lead you like a child would be led to do what children do. Like how they have this kind of split attention span that we want to control and we've been taught to control. It's actually them practicing learning their intuition. So you need to go back to practicing it. Some of you are being reminded now that you literally asked, you commanded in your 3D life to be severed from the gifts that you have in this current life. You're being reminded of the things that you saw when you were younger, the ways you communicated with spirit, the ways that we were there for you. We want you to know there is no harm done. This is a part of this school of the training. So they just want us to know that they're brothers and sisters, all of them of all the races. There's no need for us to shame ourselves or to be difficult or hard on ourselves about what we didn't know that we didn't know. So this will be a light code activation for many of you. And things you can do to help harness and hold the light. Go outside at sunrise and sunset and sun gaze for as long or a shorter period as you feel called. If you can manage, if you don't feel too icky. Remember, kids didn't feel icky. They played in the dirt. They walked around barefooted. If you can find a place you feel comfortable to take your shoes off, and really just imagine pushing your feet. Imagine light coming out of your feet and into the ground, and really put like you're actively pushing down. If you can feel bold enough to raise your hands to the sky and do that, you can just like literally just be out there doing stretches. But stare at the sun, sunrise and sunset to start. And you will just get direct sunlight. You'll get direct energy from source. You'll start to feel a lot better. It'll help alleviate some of the headaches and fogginess. And provide the healing that you need to continue to activate and deepen these light codes in your body. Okay, so we have 4 cards out of the Gateway of Light activation. I am not going to be reading the full chapter and verse of those tonight. I think if you identify as this group, you should most definitely purchase this deck, and it should be a part of your communication at this time, is what I believe. Or what I would say is, if you want to follow along with where we are and what we're doing, I'm not going to do all the reading for you. So I would highly recommend that you go and grab the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle deck so that you can follow along and read for yourself, and also so that you can have that so you can make your notes, so that you can do deeper journalings, if I read through everything that's in these books, guys, this would go on forever, and you guys just don't have the time. I'm spending 24 hours a day doing this work so that you don't have to. Okay, all right. So the first card that came up was Arcturian light codes. And this is just a confirmation for you to let you know that yes, you're going to see more. You're going to see more of the miracles that you perform in your life, and that you are being prepared for visitation. So for some of you, they just want us to have a moment to just really connect and ground, because we will be startled and we will be scared when this happens, because this doesn't normally happen, or it doesn't. For some of us, it doesn't normally happen. For some of us, we never shut this off. For some of us, we were doing it a lot when we were young, but we don't do it anymore. So this could be shocking, but they just want you to know that they are friendly. They are not here to hurt you. They love you, and you can literally greet them by asking, "Are you? Do you intend me harm? Or do you identify with the raw law of one of positive love light?" You can ask them questions. They cannot lie. They cannot lie about that. So it's one way for you to know if they're coming to you in peace. And then ask what messages they have for you. So just be active about it. So I'm going to read the light code activation. Some of you are getting tingling on the top of your forehead. That is letting you know that your crown chakra is opening at this time. So that was confirmation for some of you. Some of you are still doubting yourselves. We need for that to stop. We need for you to actively stop doubting yourself. You know who you are. You remember who you are. You know what you're capable of. You're drawn to what you're capable of. The things that you like to study are things that you've experienced. You don't need to continue to ask for your Akash to be open. Your Akash was never closed. Every leader, every time period that you identify with, it's true. It's real. This is confirmation for you. Arcturian light codes. All right. So let's see what we have from our Arcturian friends. Ooh, okay, I'm nervous. All right. Okay, so what I do want you to know out of this, Arcturus is a giant red star that is among the brightest stars seen from the northern hemisphere. It is around 25 times larger than our sun and can be found just beyond the Big Dipper. Many believe that there are light beings living on a blue planet orbiting Arcturus who are in the fifth or even higher dimensions. So I do also want you guys to know that if you're here and if you resonate with being here, you already are... You've already achieved sovereign divinity and you exist on planes beyond the 5D. Most earthly humans are graduating to 4 and 5D at this time, but you exist in 7, 8, 9 is what I'm hearing. And that's all I've been shown. Okay. So if you want to connect with Arcturians, so the other thing that was important about the Arcturians is that they are, as a race, they're here to help people on Earth who feel called to facilitate healing and move beyond draconian and patriarchal ways of being. They guide us to realize that we have a great opportunity to evolve beyond the limited states, and if we don't, we'll be stuck on a karmic wheel for thousands of years before we get our next opportunity. If you feel called to the Arcturians or to this information, it can indicate past, future incarnation on Arcturian planet that or that you have Arcturian guides working with you. So for some of you, this is honestly, for what I'm hearing is this. If you're okay, let me slow down. Some of you, this is it. We are experiencing those times that everyone has been highly concerned about in that book that they like to read all over the world. I hope that makes sense. So we are in those times. Yes, it's real. It's confirmation for you. So as you know, or as you may or may not know, there will be those left behind and they'll need assistance. So some of us will be staying here and assisting rebuild of that. Some of us are most of us are here now laying framework for what will be used to rebuild later. Because you cannot tear down something without a replacement. You can't end an addiction without adding a coping mechanism. You can't. You just have to mind balance. You have to mind positive and negative, light and dark. So there are certain things that people have a birthright to, such as abundance, joy, safety, trust, integrity, all of these things, and there has to be frameworks and systems in place to do that. And we've been refining the system for decades, and decades and decades and decades into perpetuity. But it has finally been done. It's finally been done. We want to make sure as many of us came in, make it out. We don't want anyone jumping on karmic wheels as we go through the last go round. Most of you will not be coming back. Will not be coming back to Earth School. You will be graduating on to other places. Many other places. Okay. So, if you want to connect, if you feel called to connect, imagine yourself enveloped in a golden, orange, and blue light, and then say, "Great blue beings of the Arcturian race, thank you for downloading into my frequency." Excuse me, they told me to slow down. Great beings of the Arcturian race, thank you for downloading into my frequency forward-thinking energies that will support my evolution. Your message. You can evolve into a greater state of being now. This begins with how you approach even the most mundane task in your own little universe. Show up in ways that you've never showed up before. Instead of checking out of this planet, it's time to check in. Instead of feeling that life is happening to you, realize that you have a huge part to play. Recall your power. Realize that you are a part of the evolution of humanity, and it's time to become the leader you were born to be. It doesn't matter if you're leading yourself or a larger group. The key is to create more loving ways of doing things. Honor the ideas or thoughts that you have been having recently. If you have been hearing high-pitched noises, seeing flickers of light, or sensing that you are being visited by beings in your sleep, know that you are receiving downloads from heaven. Arcturians are with you. Okay? So I just want to take a moment to give gratitude for our Arcturian brotherhood and sisterhood, the Arcturian race for being here on behalf of us at this time and for offering this healing that we wholeheartedly receive. Next is Thoth light codes. This will be a light initiation, great teacher awakening divine magic. Many of you are being called to teach, to consult, to work with children, to train new leaders, to train new minds. Okay, it's part of expanding your territory, right? So you have many charges underneath you that you'll be responsible for, but that's a non-issue. You've been responsible for many before. You've graduated and done just well with that. I just want you to understand that. One area that many of you are struggling, two areas that many of you are struggling with are maintaining balance in your sex life, in your intimate life, and as well as your financial life. Is tied to root chakra work. You need to get grounded. Whatever that looks like for you. Okay? Realize that you are part of the evolution of humanity, and it's time to become the leader you were born to be. It doesn't matter if you're leading yourself or a larger group. The key is to create more loving ways of doing things. Honor the ideas or thoughts that you have been having recently. If you have been hearing high-pitched noises, seeing flickers of light, and sensing you are being visited by beings in your sleep, know that you're receiving downloads from heaven. Arcturians are with you. Okay, so we want you to know that. We want you to drill that in, that this is live, this is happening, this is real. Okay, so we're going to go now to the Thoth light codes. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I'm trying to rush because I don't want to take so long, but also, I guess they saying if you come into class, you come into class. We're willing to do what it takes. We are always willing to do what it takes. Okay, so Thoth, Tahuti is how I refer to him. You may know him as Thoth. You may know him as Thoth the Atlantean. Tahuti is the ancient Egyptian ibis-headed god of writing, divine magic, and the moon. Acknowledged as a sacred scribe who created writing, he is considered to be the great mind behind the hieroglyphs and the maintainer of the Egyptian universe. It is said he was the priest king of Atlantis and was dedicated to leading the Atlantean people in a loving way that was firm but fair. No nonsense. Okay? Tahuti is no nonsense. However, no matter how hard he tried to direct them, many of them didn't obey the spiritual laws of the universe, which inevitably led to the end of their civilization. This gateway takes you to a place where you can connect with the energetic frequency that Thoth carries. As a master teacher of the stars, he holds space for you to connect with some of the greatest gifts from this lifetime and many others that you have lived. Thoth's primary teaching is spiritual integrity, and he's working alongside a powerful congregation of evolved souls, the ascended Atlanteans, to guide those who are ready to increase their awareness. He specializes in helping those who are finding it difficult to make spiritual progress, to rise above the aspects of their life that are holding them back. He helps awaken the teacher within. Many of you are going to be being called away to write, to create. Please do it to your fullness. The things that you create, I also need you to put them into businesses. I need you to trademark them. These things are going to be artifacts of lifetimes, of millennia. People are going to know your name. You will be in the hall. You are your names in the hall of Amenti. God knows your name. God knows your name. You sit beside God. So you are the prophets. You are the chosen ones. You are the prophets. You are the chosen ones. You stop writing. Sometimes you have writer's block simply because you need to take a pause. You need to really understand some concept. But you are going to be poured into, and you are going to be scribing. You are going to be channeling the next big book that they read all around the world. Okay, so if you wish to connect with Tahuti, feel free to chant in your meditations or just when you're doing even your most mundane of tasks. Chant Tahuti, Tahuti, Tahuti until you feel a shift in the energy around you. And then say, Thoth, great priest king of Atlantis and divine scribe of ancient Egypt, thank you for initiating and awakening the great teacher within me. You are blessed to connect with Thoth. This is high level, okay? This is, not a lot of people have access to this, okay? You are beyond divinely blessed and highly favored. Your name is known in the halls of Amenti. You are going through a powerful set of light initiations at this time, and these are powerful. They're powerful, and these are preparing you to lead and teach from a powerful space of love. In order to complete the process, there will be a release of old ideas and limiting stories, but this is necessary for you to connect with your true power within you. What does this mean? This means taking off all the labels that people put on you that made you feel less than, that made you want to shrug your shoulders in and around your diamond, and that lives in your chest chakra and your heart chakra. You are a gem. For every label, for any circumstance, for any act of violence that anybody perpetrated against you to try to keep you locked, to try to keep you less than yourself, to keep you from shining your light. The people that told you were stupid, retarded, fat, useless, people that called you a whore, a slut, people that told you they wish you were never born, and they wish you were dead, and the people that even worse, that spoke nothing of you, that kept walking past you as if you didn't exist and never acknowledged your light. They need you to understand something, okay? They need you to understand something. You've always been a walking god and goddess. You've always been that way since the day you got here. There are entities here that don't like that. Okay, and that's just as simple as it gets. And there are people, things, places that are designed to suck the energy out of you. And yes, you've been tested time and time again of people trying to literally leave you for fucking dead. Take everything from you. Threaten to take everything from you. Decimate your life. It's happened. It's happened repeatedly. You're clutching your head, wondering why it keeps happening again and again and again, because this is what you're made of. This is who you sit next to. And you think they're not going to come against you? And all you need to understand is this. This is illusion. This is Maya. Judgment has been pronounced. Debts will be paid. You needn't worry about it. You needn't spend any of your energy being concerned about it. God has it. We have you. You have your charges. Turn to your charges, which means you need to turn to yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Okay? So Thoth wants you to know he can continue to pour out his knowledge, but he's not going to waste his time. The time is too critical. We are here to save as many souls as we possibly can. We're here to save as many souls as we possibly can. So he wants you to understand that you have a team, and if you call on them, they'll do anything for you, through you, and with you. But please don't call on them for things that you can absolutely handle by yourself. Please don't call on them for things that you know that you're not to be doing anymore. Please don't call on them to repeat messages to you that you know that you have received. Please learn to trust yourself. Please learn to stop doubting yourself. Please learn to take off those labels. Please. How many times is really where his energy is at right now? How many times don't have to say the same thing? It's a new day. New day. Shake off the old labels. Leave the old partogram alone. It's dead. It's over. It has been done. Remember, what's done in the spiritual realm takes time to translate into 3D. And time beyond the concept that the human mind can even comprehend. We're talking about foundation that you're laying today is going to be things, that are, that come to life in the next 5, 10, 50, 100, 200 years. Okay? So, you really have to learn to be diligent with the resources that are being provided for you, and in the higher realms and the lower realms. So a lot of you are, because of all the trauma and the invalidation and the indignity and the injustice that you have experienced in this life, so many of us don't feel rooted. We may be functioning without budgets. We might not be able to keep our homes clean. We might not be able to keep eating whole foods or getting things that are made from the earth. We may be drinking out of a lot of plastics. We may be using fluoride toothpaste still. We may be still just lost in the traps that keep your engine from running at its full capacity. It's capable of miracles. The only reason why you don't see yourself actively performing them is because you need to strengthen you need to raise your vibration. The time is now. Don't be concerned by the intensity of the energies that surround you right now. Facing shadow parts of yourself and your story is essential for connecting the divine magic and evolved beings of light are there to lead the way. If you have any concerns or fears at this time, know that when fear gets loud, it's because you're on the cusp of something extremely powerful. And you can also call in your angels, your guides, your ascended masters, your ancestors, and you call in anybody you like, really, to help you cut that cord of that fear, to help you ride the wave of that fear. And remember, fear is not always just the things that go bump in the night either, guys. Like, fear is also that anticipation that you feel right before the top of the roller coaster goes down, or the wave breaks, or fear is not always just something that is so negative in your life. So you can ask any angels or guides that you feel that you talk to consistently. You can ask them to help you. You can ask for just holy angels to come in and assist you with breaking those ties of fears. But if you knew, gosh, why? Like Crying says, if you knew the things that you've done in other lifetimes, you would be like, and you thought this was, you thought you needed prayer for this. So that's what they're saying, is just to own it. You're badass and you always have been. They also want you to learn how to swim if you don't know how to swim. If you do know how to swim, strengthen your skills. And any other physical activity that you've ever felt called to do that you have put off, go ahead and do that. Also, some of you, it's like working on crafts, like doing construction. For some of you, it's driving. Like maybe you've never gotten your license before. It's time for you to get your license. Yeah, all those types of things. Yeah. All right. So you're facing shadow parts of yourself, and your story is essential for connecting with divine magic, and evolved beings of light are here to lead the way. If you have any concerns or fears at this time, know that when fear gets loud, it's because you're on the cusp of something extremely powerful. Thank you, Thoth, the Atlantean, for that message at this time. The next card that we're going into, this is the third of four, is Halls of Amenti, Initiation, Secrets Revealed, Treasures Uncovered, Initiations. I'm also being reminded that you must consistently protect yourself. Take spiritual baths, do an Epsom salt soak at least twice a month or once a month. Have some consistency about it. Have a meditation schedule that's consistent. Doesn't matter where you are. It could be in your car. It could be in your home. It could be on a walk. Just make sure it's something that you can consistently maintain. Okay? All right. So the next card is Halls of Amenti, Secrets Revealed, Treasures Uncovered. Thoth, if you have not ever listened to the Thoth tablets, which I'm actually in the process of going through now, you definitely want to spend some time going through those. There's going to be a lot of syncs and signs in there for you all. Okay. And it's important to hear the truth, he said. Okay, so Halls of Amenti. If you are, he said, if you are addicted to the other book that is very popular, please listen to the Emerald Tablets with an open mind. If there are portions of it that you feel are contradictory to the other version, he just asks that you sit and meditate with those. The truth will be revealed. Simply because you're asking the question, you're giving permission for them to tell you the truth. Okay, so Halls of Amenti, Initiation. I just want to say I'm so proud of all of you guys for everything that you've endured and been through. It's beyond, we laugh now, but we cried then. I also want you to do that as well. If you're able to, physically, I want you to go to the places and laugh where you cried. You've probably been feeling called to go on a trip. You need to start making plans to do that. You'll be shown when it's time to go, but just go ahead and start preparing to make that trip, to change that job, to file that divorce, to break that contract, to change your country, to get that passport, to do some massive change. So this is your confirmation. Please go ahead and get started to make that change if you've not done so already. Also know that you don't need to chastise yourself for being behind on any assignments, because that it's already been done in the spiritual realm. Remember, this war has already been won. We're just trying to usher out as many souls as we can. Okay? That's it. All right. So, I want you guys to go ahead and do your own research about the Halls of Amenti. But just notice the spiritual plane that you have access to, spend a lot of time in. Connect, if you want to connect more deeply with this, I want you to spend time imagining that you are at the Great Pyramid. If you can go there, that's even better. But all you have to do is imagine that you can do this in your mind. Above it is an apex, a portal opens, drawing you in. You can imagine the shape of your Merkaba there, or you can imagine a pyramid over you in that space. But above you, a portal will open. It will draw you in. See yourself as the center of a sacred temple. Set clear intentions to align with your higher purpose and receive a transmission of ancient wisdom. Okay? Just imagine yourself like you're being, like you've grabbed a cord and you're just being gently lifted right on up into the center of that thing. Okay? And when you get there, set clear intentions of what you want to align with your higher purpose, because that's what you want. That's what you're dying for. You want to know why you're here. You want to know what you're here for. You want to be clear about it. Okay? You're tired of the tower moments. We understand. So your message is to let you know you're in a deep initiatory chamber at this time. Some of you literally feel like you're walking between two worlds, because you are. Okay? You might feel that things are heavy and challenging, but you know that a reconfiguration is happening. Energetically, you're going through an initiation that will allow you to go beyond the fears of ego and transcend the limitations of the physical realm. You might not feel that light is present because you're in the middle of this phase at the moment, but know that is present within you. You might be feeling frustrated or overwhelmed, but a lot of this is anxiety, and it's anxiety. And remember again, in anticipation, we've experienced anxiety here as generally fear, but don't forget there's also an anticipatory type of anxiety, and that's what your body is feeling right now. And I need you, if you can, safely, if you can, find new ways to help soothe and cope with that. Don't take anything out of your current routine, but just try to add onto it. You need more, okay? Some of you are being called to change your diet, eat less meat. That's why I have the plant-based, the Back to Nature was a message from Gaia about you getting plant-based, anything that you like. So she is not telling you to have any particular diet. Just make sure that whatever you're eating is whole. 5 to 10 ingredients or less, she said. Also, just want you to know that every day is a gift. She literally showed me Christmas. Like, some of you have been humming Christmas music. This is a confirmation for you. Some of you have been humming birthday music. This is confirmation for you. That every day is a gift. You've been given many blessings, and part of what they want you to do is create a digest. You're in a life review. Part of what you're doing in the halls of Minty right now is going through your Akash. So spend time in your journal every day, going through your life of up to this point, 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old, whatever, and the lessons that you learned. Look back at your heroes. Look back at the people that were villains in your life. What lessons and gifts, what blessings or lessons that you get poured into you from those experiences. Take account of it. Also take account of your skills. Take account of your skills, because you need to understand and have competence and confidence in who you are and what you're doing. All of this, all of it is a gift. The owl is here for you at this time, letting you know that you have great wisdom. People always seek counsel from you. People that you don't even know walk up to you and share your life story with you because they see your light. It's like a beacon. They know that it's safe, and they can do that here. And you will transmutate the pain in their life, and you will pronounce judgment over the situations and the people that have caused or come harm or caused injustice in their life. And that is what you do as you walk. Okay? So yes, it's okay to be hard, but don't be harsh. Loving but firm. To who he said, loving but firm. The owl spirit brings wisdom, protection, and helps us discover hidden secrets. Owls have night vision and can see things not revealed to the human eye. Your spirit owl can help you tap into the spirit knowledge and develop your perceptions and your intuition. Okay, because all of you are prophetic in one way or another. You're literally, some of you are getting visions of the past, some of you are getting precognitions. Yeah, you know what you're doing. So, there's that. So, I also learned, because I don't want to say them all, because I don't want anybody to get jealous of somebody else's gift. Yours is equally as powerful and equally as needed. We literally cannot do this without each and every one of you. We need each and every one of you. We need as many of you as we could possibly get to make it and to stand at the forefront, to literally run at the head of the pack. Okay? Last is halls of learning, spirit guides, confirmation, great lessons. Before I go into this, also, you may be called to learning in 3D as well. So you may be getting new journals, new books, going for a new class, a new degree, new certificates, new apprenticeships, watching new YouTube videos about something that you don't have a lot of skill in yet. Follow that intuition to build up those skills. You're going to need them. The gifts are going to be given to you at the time that you will need at a later date. Prepare a foundation for yourself. Okay, so halls of learning is the last one, and then we'll be wrapping up class for tonight. I do want to thank everybody for coming and for being here for my first full-blown sermon for Lightworkers, Light Warriors, Ascended Masters, and all the beings that identify with the raw law of one. Again, I just cannot even begin to thank you for entrusting me to channel, to be channeled. The halls of learning are also known as the Great Halls. As an etheric retreat dedicated to spiritual knowledge, they are a training space for all souls, including those on earth, spiritual guides, and those between lives. They have been visited by many spiritual workers, seers, and mediums over the years and have been described as giant, somewhat gothic, university buildings with marble flooring, spiral staircases, and tall bookcases. Some have said these halls are home to the Akashic records, while others have wondered if they are connected to the halls of Amenti. I can confirm that these are actually two different retreats. Ultimately, this etheric retreat is an ancient mystery school, and it is particularly powerful for those of you who are opening up to their psychic and clairvoyant abilities. I do want to pause here and just let you all know that Isis is speaking at this time. If this gateway comes to you often, it brings a confirmation that your psychic gifts are strengthening. Also, if the idea of an ancient mystery school is in the astral realm seems familiar, there's a good chance that you've been there during the dream time or even between incarnations. These great halls are held within the heart of Source and are a projection of the Divine's mind, infinite intelligence. When we visit them, we are connecting directly to the wisdom of Source. So to connect, if you identify and you wish to connect, think about a challenging time or lesson you are facing and say, Source and wisdom keepers of the halls of learning, thank you for revealing to me the pattern, trauma, or wound that has created this lesson so I can heal it once and for all. Then listen carefully. Literally, my child, just be quiet and listen, because you will receive a message back. And your message, you are on the path to great learning. Spiritual beings are drawing close to support you. If you are facing challenging or difficult circumstances, or you have just moved through such time, you are being called to review what you've learned about yourself. If you're still feeling overwhelmed by a certain event or asking why it happened, call on Source and your guides to reveal to you the pattern, the trauma, or the wound that has contributed to this challenge. I also just want to interject and say, some of you will find that pattern is not even just your pattern. It may be generational patterns because you are in avatar bodies and they are an amalgamation of past lives and all that fun stuff. Do your own research. Okay, so you may be clearing and transmuting things that happen to enslaved Africans, to poisoned Irishmen, to bombed Asians, to rape Native Americans. You may be seeing all these different historical events that have taken place over time. You're literally removing that from your Akash. You're clearing that negativity out of that generational meridian, and you're doing it through your meridian lines. Some of you, this is going to also be a call to move. You're literally going to move hemispheres because the divine masculine and feminine energy is shifting and the poles are changing. I'm not being shown the rest, but so yeah, some of you may be being called to move. I think the rest is above where I'm at right now, above this class. Okay, so lastly, as we wrap up, where was we? I'm sorry, where were we? So yeah, they're gonna come in to help you clear those patterns, and I just wanted you to know what it looks like when you're doing that work, because some of us doubt ourselves because we don't understand what we're doing, and that is what's taking place. So if you aren't experiencing challenging energy, the reason is that you've made huge progress on your spiritual journey, so much so that your perspective has shifted so that you can view every challenge as a window of opportunity. The halls of learning gateway indicate that your spiritual gifts are developing at this time. Okay, so literally in my mind I can see you all like grabbing your notebooks and getting ready to leave. So just before you go, I do want to offer a message of healing from Isis, and she also has a Moonology card apparently in this deck for us. So we'll see what that is. Because she wanted me to ask you all to make sure that you pay attention to your moon magic. It's where you're going to meet her and Tahuti the most often right now, and to where you'll get those downloads. You will be doing a lot of writing. You're going to be woken up in the middle of the night when the world is quiet. Go outside though, or open your window and look at the moon. Spend some time doing that, or looking up at the star systems that you identify with. And it can be like even 30 seconds or 5 to 10 minutes or however long you can really do it. The longer the better. But do that, and that will help you clearing some of this writer's block, or you will suddenly find that you're feverishly penning information that you had not done before, because you will be channeling. You will be channeling. All right, so a message of healing from Isis, from my sister Isis at this time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message of healing. Please take a screenshot of that and keep this for your meditations. You can just gaze upon this image, and then close your eyes and meditate and meet with Isis. Spirit of Isis, beloved initiate, there are times to surrender and let go, but there are never times to give up. Persist with your bold faith and inspired action until the impossible happens. Isis has the spirit of triumph and will never fail in her quest, no matter how bold or impossible it seems. Let her inspire you. Believe. And so what Isis wants to let you know right now is dream your biggest dream. I don't care how wild and crazy it is. I don't care how many people would have told you it's stupid. Also, that's confirmation for you to let you know that you don't need to be discussing what you're dreaming about with a lot of people. You don't need to be discussing your vision with any and everybody. You don't need to be telling them about every little move that you're making. It is for you. It is of a high regard, and you do not allow folks that are not ready to play at that level to play with that type of fire. They will burn themselves, and they may burn others. Okay? So just be mindful of that. Your circle is small, not because you don't have family or you don't have loved ones, but because you need high discernment. There are only so many that can walk beside you. There are only so many walking so high. Peace, love, light, and blessings. Namaste.